Hi, this is Eric Janesco, and welcome to the E-Squared Business Development Business Acceleration Ezine for April 2011. In this month's topic, we're going to dig a little deeper on how to create action with your referral partners and clients when we give them great ideas. By the way, I want to step aside for a second. By the way, I'm not trying to make a political statement with my pink shirt today. Actually, this is what happens when you let your 4-year-old daughter pick the outfit. She woke up this morning, looked out the window, it was a bright, sunny spring morning, and she got all excited and wanted to wear something bright and cheery. So, of course, she loves to have me match her. Anyway, but back to the focus of what we're talking about this morning. All the time we give great ideas and tools and strategies to the referral partners, whether it's resources from Mortgage Market Guide or Loan Toolbox or any of the other great resources out there, whether you're scouring the internet for articles about how to build a realtor business. This time of year especially is a great time to be reaching out and networking with the referral partners in the market, the real estate agents and financial planners and CPAs. Part of this is because of the summer buying season, and typically where a huge percentage of business is done during that time of year. Well, the practical reality is we give out all these great tips and ideas and strategies to them, but those are tools just like any other tool that you might use. So let me take you through an analogy for just a second. Think about the tool of a lever for a second, and we all know this is where the term leverage comes from. Well, here's why it does. The practical reality is you got two simple points to this tool. You got this bar in the middle, and you got a pivot point. Okay? But the thing is, if I'm not using that lever properly, if I've got that pivot point right in the middle, I can put 100 pounds of force on one side, and I'm only going to get 100 pounds of lift on the other. I'm not really using that tool properly. However, if all of a sudden I shift that pivot point just a few feet to one side, all of a sudden I get 10 times the results with the same amount of effort. And that's where that term leverage comes from. So think about all these great tools, ideas, strategies, and tips that we have spent time, energy, and in a lot of cases money on being able to have access to and give to our referral partners in the hopes that they'll be able to do something with it, get some results, and then reward us with the referrals. But the practical reality is when we just give those ideas out and we just kind of toss it at them, hoping they'll catch it, what's the practical reality of them actually doing something with it? And, if you're honest with yourself, the answer is probably very little that they'll actually do it. So what we want to think about the cycle of transformation that we use in our coaching process. In this 5-phase cycle of transformation, you'll recognize that there's basically 5 key phases that information or ideas have to go through before an idea moves from that awareness phase to where it's actually created new habits and it's a new part of what we're going to do on an ongoing basis. So, think about these. First is that awareness. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I think that might be something good to do in my business. The understanding is where they have this sort of aha moment. Wow, okay, now I get it. Now I understand why I should do it. But then there's still that hurdle of actually taking that idea, practicing it, putting into action in what they do on a daily basis, then getting to refinement and automation. And the key is moving between refinement. You may get really good at a particular method of conversation or script, if you will. But if you still have to have some sort of external tool to remind you to do it, it really hasn't transformed you. That final phase is where you shift it into where it's something you just automatically do, and you are a different person as a result of having received and worked through this idea all the way to automation. And so what we want to do is help our referral partners begin to move down this path, at least to the action or refinement phase, with ideas that we want to suggest to them. And one of the ways we do this in the coaching process is, think about what is the result? So, what do these top athletes all have in common? Well, they all had somebody to hold them accountable. And really, what are the key important strategies of a coach? They all had somebody who cared more about their own success, or as much about their own success as they did. And a big part of that is thinking about getting that idea in play for that referral partner. So some simple things that we can do, and whether it's a new marketing strategy or a new positioning script or the use of an intake questionnaire or a new way of approaching realtors or refining advertising so that they're getting a deeper level of engagement, or using strategic finance marketing strategies on listed properties. Any of those ideas are extremely valuable by themselves. But what does it take to really get that reinforcement and that action so that they're creating new habits with these ideas or strategies? Well, one of the things that we've had great success with here in the last couple of months is introducing our clients, mortgage planners, to this idea of what we call the coaching close. So after you've tossed out a great idea and the agent seems to really like it, like for example, the positioning script, getting an agent to understand how they can separate themselves at first contact from the flock of other agents out there. What about taking and just asking a couple of simple questions like what you see on the screen right now? For example, Miss Real Estate Agent or Mr. Real Estate Agent, what could this do for your business and your family? Will this help you with your conversion ratio? What if you captured 2 or 3 more leads out of 10? What would that do as far as your paycheck? So let me ask you something. Is this an idea you really want to implement? Or what do you want? What do you need to do to implement this idea is really the next step here. Okay, so do you need to practice that action item or that script so that you're really fine-tuning it and getting really good at it so that you could use it with new leads when they call you off of a sign call or those kind of things? So, all right, another question. When would be a good time to do this, or by when would you like to see this particular method of conversation up and running in how you manage your practice on a daily basis? And a fourth question, sort of a tie-in, how do you want me to help you follow through on implementing that strategy? Do you want me to just be a practice partner for you, somebody to role play with? Do you want me to just kind of, set a follow-up date next week sometime to check back in with you? Do you want me to, how can I help you here with following through on getting this idea up and running? There's 3 key elements that tie into this coaching close. What we find are the 3 keys to successful execution or implementation. One is we've got to get them to recognize the value of an idea and commit time to doing it. 2 is we want to get them to think about the progress that they would be making and keep them accountable to actually following through, because it's going to be uncomfortable the first time they try a new idea or a new strategy. And they need to continue to work to refine it. The third thing is we need them to make an external promise. When they make a commitment to us that they want to get that particular script up and running by, say, Thursday of next week, and they make that promise to us, they're about 6 times more likely to follow through on practicing and implementing that script as opposed to if they just make a promise to themselves. It's really easy to break promises to ourselves. It's much harder to break promises to other people. So the idea here is take this coaching close, spend a few minutes with it, and begin to tie this in to when you throw out a great idea. Ask the agent to commit time and energy to when they want to implement it, have them set some target dates for when they want to implement it, and get them to think through what steps they need to take to actually get it running in their business. And then offer yourself as an accountability partner in following through on those action items and getting to that level of implementation so they're at the action and refinement phase as opposed to just leaving it at the understanding phase, which we all know will lead to good rapport, but is it really going to create results that yield new business for that agent? Okay, so this is a key part of what we do in the coaching process. We assess opportunities, we create a planning strategy, and we maximize performance through ongoing reinforcement and accountability. It's a cycle that we go through. So you can begin to take this strategy and implement it for yourself in what you're doing with developing relationships with your referral partners, with your borrowers, and with anybody else that you might be talking to about ideas and implementation. So that's it for today's strategy, but let me ask you one last thing. Why don't I use my own medicine here? So let me ask you, what was the most valuable thing you heard out of this program today? What are you going to do with it? What action do you need to take after hearing this short little excerpt to begin to move forward with using this coaching close. And by when are you going to have that action item completed? Make a commitment to yourself and even take it one step further. Go out and promise somebody that you trust, that you respect, that you'll feel bad if you don't follow through on that promise. Go share this idea with them and commit to them that you're going to complete it by that target date that you just set. Okay, so last thing, short, I appreciate you taking the time to watch today's short video. If there's anything we at E-Squared Business Development can do to help you with your implementation and follow through either in a one-on-one or group coaching setting, be certain to give us a call. We'll set up what we call a strategy session, which is just a quick and easy way that we can help you get a coaching experience, understand a little bit more about the coaching process and what's involved, and help you make a decision on whether it's the right fit for you. There's no cost or obligation for the strategy session, just something that at worst case you'll leave with some great ideas and action plans for how to boost your business. If there's anything else we can help you with, if you need a speaker for an event, or if you have any just questions about how to grow your business, certainly give us a call. We'll be happy to spend some time with you. Otherwise, thank you and make it a great week, and go out and implement some great ideas with your referral partners this week. Otherwise, we'll see you next month with the next Business Acceleration Ezine. Make it a great week.